Well, today on Nation, a window cleaners podcast, we're talking all about construction cleans, how to do them, what are they, how do we get the most out of them, and how do we not get screwed by the extra work that goes into it. So if you're a window cleaner thinking about getting into window cleaning, maybe you do construction cleans or maybe you don't, this is going to be a good episode. So stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? Hey, we have finally hit the 8-year mark for the podcast, so hopefully if you're watching, you've seen a few of them. If you're new, you got a ton of content to catch up on if you want. And I'll tell you, not all of them suck. So, there's that. So go back and watch. That's like the nicest way of kind of complimenting myself. I don't want to sound pompous because, but sometimes you get something out of it. Anyway, I digress. Go back, listen everywhere podcasts are found. If you're on Spotify too, review it. If you're on my YouTube page, subscribe. By the way, I have my own YouTube page. We'll get into that, but do all those things. It just, it means a lot. And then so many of you buy from me, which is amazing. So many of you just tell me you watch the podcast. Anyway, it's all awesome. So after 8 years, I still really, really, really enjoy being able to do this. So thank you for that. But let's just jump right into it. This week, I want to say some thank yous. First, I want to start with Edmund Ritchie. What's up? Thank you for being amazing. Thank you to Calvin DeWitt. Thank you. And Colby Sowers, actually. Thank you. It's really, really awesome that you guys have let me put orders for you. And it's just 3 random people. There's so many more of you that are flipping awesome. So thank you. Thank you. So construction cleaning, or CCUs, as you guys kind of, you see them kind of slang, I guess, out there. Construction cleanups it's a double-edged sword. They're good and they're not. They're great money and they suck. And here's the really big underlying part. I'll get into kind of pricing and expectations and what they involve, all that stuff. But here's the piece. You have good builders and you have bad builders. Absolutely. You have clean builders, as we call them, or dirty builders. I don't want to do work for a dirty builder. I don't want to go into a place and be like, man, this is going to be so... I don't want to go into a place and be completely overwhelmed by the crappy, just dirty, sloppy laziness of the contractors that they're running. And a good contractor, or a good GM, like the guy that runs the show, or GC, not GM, they are in charge of hey, guys, you left this mess, don't leave a mess, right? So there are good builders and bad builders, and the only way to find out is to really go there and do a job. I've done a lot of jobs for companies once, and then we just didn't. We priced ourselves out of it the next time. I've done that a lot because I'm not going to go and I can't charge you 10 times what it costs because it takes me 10 times as long. What I can do is charge you 2x or 3x, depending on your quality. But the other thing is that, man, the liability in this is always there. It's omnipresent. So if I have to do work for a crappy, sloppy, dirty contractor, then I'm taking on a lot of liability to kind of make up for your laziness or your inability to tell your guys, dude, don't wipe every bit of caulk on the glass. Or don't remove the plastic from the new windows until the window company can do that, right? There's a lot of stuff. But anyway, construction cleans are pretty awesome. I mean, they are nice kind of pocket. They are bigger money, bigger tickets. They are larger time. So, when they send you one, it could be an all-day project for one house. But the nice thing is in the pricing, we do duplicates or duplicators? No. We double or triple it. We'll get to pricing. Anyway, but construction cleaning is basically this. It's window cleaning, but really messed up windows. And I have some builders that are phenomenal. And literally, I've charged the same normal window cleaning price to some builders because I've dealt with them for so long. I know their stuff is immaculate, right? We've done a little bit of a bump up because we're taking plastic off and stuff, but it's super, super easy. What you're looking for when you go, because you're going to do on-site bid, or once you start building a relationship with builders, the other nice thing is that if Todd calls me from XYZ, he's like, hey man, I got a building, the address is 123, it's 3,400 square foot, nothing too crazy, standard style. Cool, awesome man, we'll get to it. Cool, returning keys, it'll be open for you to clean 2 weeks from Tuesday. Okay, cool, I'll slot it in, or whatever. It could be that easy. And for them, they love it because they're just like, they call another contractor. They got all the other things to do. You're just one of them. But they also know your pricing is going to be on point. They also know that your the service is going to be on point. They know that they can rely on you, and they know that when you turn keys, which means when the new property owner basically is given the keys, like, all right, the property's yours. They know it's going to be done right. The issues that you run into is how much you have to clean. Because if it was just a normal window cleaning, great. You could do that. I could do that. We could all do that, right? But if it's a construction clean, there's so many more pieces to it that it's like, okay, well, am I getting in? Is it going to be really dirty? Is it going to be a lot of paint on the glass? Is there a lot of scraping that I have to do? Is there stuff on the frames? Is there all of those kind of things really come to it? And I'll tell you that I do not do work for builders that have anything on the frames. My job is the glass, and I will only do the glass. Some of you do frames, and that's totally cool. I just don't. I don't like frames. I don't want to scratch them. I don't want to damage them. I don't want to do any of that stuff. So frames for me are off limits, and all of the builders that I deal with is just glass. There is another company that comes and does all of the construction cleans, like wipes the walls down, baseboards, all of that. Now, we had a janitorial division to my company that they did that also, so we could do the whole project. But that's huge. That's another one where you're like multiple people, like day to clean everything up, right? You can't hand over a dirty house. It's not like cleaning a house. You're literally wiping the walls down, wiping the baseboard. Every single surface gets wiped. And if there's stuff on the frames, the person who put the stuff on the frames is who we have take it off, because now they're liable if they damage the frames. Now, here's a truth about building. In building, they say, hey, this house is going to cost you $400,000. I know I can build it, pay all the people with all the supplies and everything for $300,000. That means I'll get paid $100,000 to do that. Out of that money, there is incidentals. There is damage or break, or, oh, the painters, when they came in, they cracked a tile. I got to replace the tile. Then I got to pay the company to come back, and I have overstock on the tile. Like, they understand that. And Windows is one of those things. Now, if you're in scratch removal, like you do glass renew, which, by the way, is phenomenal, if you're doing that, then they could come to you, and they could fix a window instead of replace it. But they know that some of them are going to be messed up. But the liability comes in where all of us that do it are not scared, but worried or concerned, keeping an eye on it. It's that we're the ones that always get blamed for the scratches, okay? So in a construction clean, we already know we're going to be doing tons more work. We're going to be taking potentially mortar or caulk or whatever. We're going to be using razors. We're going to be using wool. We're going to be using all of our tools. But here's the thing. When a window is super, super dirty, you can't see that there's scratches. You can't see that there's marks or issues or anything, right? So if the painters came in and, or say there were glazers, which is notorious, they use like a paint scraper to like scrape the glass, get it off, whatever. Well, the windows get dirty. We come in and they go, oh, you scratched the glass, because now we made them sparkle and you could see the issues. So that's where people get more scared of. And there's a lot of window cleaners that just say, no, I'm not doing construction cleans. And that's cool. You don't have to. But if you have a good liability and literally just talk to the builder and let them know this is how it's going to go and blah, 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 they're really pretty good. Because again, there is an allocation for that issue. And if you're doing glass repair, that may even come to you. But it's not that you're scratching the glass. Maybe you aren't. Maybe you're doing something you shouldn't be doing the way you're not supposed to be doing it. But more than likely, you're the expert. The other people that have touched the window, the other 100 people, from painters to caulkers to drywallers, the windows are there. Even the framers have to work around the windows sometimes. They're the ones that frame them out, right? Window installers. All of those people have touched the windows. We're the last ones to touch it, so we get blamed. So that's where people get kind of scared about that. That's the issues. But I'll tell you, as you know, razors don't scratch glass, okay? No, razors don't scratch tempered glass. Tempered glass is so softer. No, that's literally the opposite of what the word temper means. Tempered glass is harder than regular glass. Glass fines, which if you know anything about how there does get scratches on glass from razors. It's not from the razor, it's from the glass. It's not the razor that's scratching the glass, it's the piece of glass that's holding against the glass you're scratching. Diamond scratches a diamond, right? Now, no one has ever cleaned these windows before, so you are going to find those. You're going to. But here's a trick to get rid of fines. To get rid of fines is that, and remember, you're doing windows even more thorough than normal. So when you're like, oh man, that's going to add a lot of time, you're already charging 2x, 3x. We'll talk about that. But take a walnut pad on a Techno pad, which we sell, obviously, if you want one, talk to me. And hit every window. You scrub it first with your scrubber, which, by the way, is soft enough that if fines break into that, you're rinsing this thing off in your bucket a bunch of times. And we end up usually changing our bucket like once or twice in that job anyway, because you don't know what's in there. It could be mortar, it could be sand, it could be just junk that could scratch. So we just clean out our buckets. But doing that first, if there's any loose fines, they come off. Going in with the walnut breaks the rest of the fines, or at least most of the fines off. And if you're not pushing really hard, which don't in a construction clean, don't go super dainty, but don't go super hard. But the pad is thick enough that if a fine breaks off, you're not holding it strong enough to the glass, right? Like you could take two diamonds and just kind of do this together and nothing happens. It's got to be held really tight so the pressure allows it to cut. So now you've taken 2 times, you've scrubbed it, you've walnut padded it, now you go in to squeegee it, more than likely the fines are kind of broken off. It's like, for everybody out there that says something about fines and scratches and all that, here's something interesting. If you're doing windows that are a couple years old, few years old, they built this house 5 years ago, guaranteed they probably have been cleaned a bunch of times. And if they have, your likelihood of fines is almost 0. Now, if you do a window that's been out for 20 years, there's going to be scratches in every window, and that's because sand blows in the air, you kind of do all that stuff, birds bite at your windows because they're dumb, bunch of stuff. But in the fine world, that's what you do. So process-wise, we're going to scrub the window, we're going to pad the window first, then if there's caulk or sealant or anything that I have to do, I'm going to go and razor off after that. And for that, typically, unless they're really bad, which I try not to do again, you'd use a larger razor, but I can use a 1-inch, which we keep in the corner of our mouth, which I don't recommend. You always see us standing there, right? For those little things. Good. Because if I do pull the fines off, or most of the fines, now I can go in and touch it with a razor. Now you're thinking to yourself like, okay, like what are we doing here? The expectations to the builder is that they can take this and hand it over. Now they have to clean it, paint it. They're going to go through the little blue tape pieces you've seen, like here's a mark, you got to fix all this stuff. Those are called punch list. You got to go through that. And then within 12 months of the person moving in, they have another punch list. They come back through at 12 months and like any screw hole pops or blah, 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 blah. They do all that. Your job is to hand it over with the windows being clean. Clean. That's your job. They got to be clean. So when you're looking at it like, wow, man, they got to do so much better than, no, you just have to do clean. Like, you just have to make them clean. Right? because the landscaping outside is probably not growing, so their windows are going to get dirty. You have to, I mean, your job is just to not leave stuff on the windows. They got to be clean. But that's the expectation. You have to put that through to the builder, because the big thing is in all of this is that you have a one-on-one relationship with the builder, or the GC itself, the general contractor, the guy that's running the show. That guy is in charge of all aspects. They all bump to him. The paint, it bumps to him. He's the guy that makes sure everything is done. So that is your communication point. And he's not looking for absolute gold of, man, oh man, I saw you down there with a tooth. Like, he wants it clean, meaning he's not noticing that they're dirty. That's what clean is. Some of you that go out there and put in your 150% and, hey, we leave the windows better than anybody. No, that's clean. Just clean them. Don't do bad work. Just clean the windows. Like, you're looking with your microscope, it's not doing what we're trying to do or supposed to do. Right? But shameless plug. I know. If you've listened to the podcast, I've done this like hundreds and hundreds of times. But some of you are still not buying with me, or not buying every order, or placing the order yourself. Listen, I start by saying this. If you're here, just hold on 1 second. Don't fast forward yet. If you text me during a sale at 2 a.m, you're locked in. That's it. Just text me. Be like, yo, everything's good. Everything's in my cart. It locks you in. Don't think that it's 2 a.m. on a Saturday, that if you don't hear from me, that you have to put an order in by 3 a.m. It's still shipping on Monday by the end of the day. If I place the order on Monday morning, or I place the order on Saturday in the middle of the night, it still ships the same time. So let me put your orders, and I promise you, I will make it absolutely easy. Make sure you get your free gift. Make sure there's fitment, questions, anything, and it's just as easy as ordering yourself by just texting me. Click save this cart and be like, yo, Jersey, it's in my cart. You can even, when you save a cart, it tells you the cart number is like, XYZ84. Just shoot down the text, hey, I'm a cart, XYZ84, or name it. Jersey. Some of the funniest things come through as the names of the carts. If you could see the list, our list of saved carts, by the way, when you save a cart, so do hundreds of other people. So there's a list, boom, 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 they're all lined up, and you have to go find that one for us. And there will literally be lists that say like Jersey's hair gel and things like that, where every other person in reps probably looking at that like, what the heck? But anyway, I love it. I love you guys that do that kind of stuff. It's awesome. So anyway, let me put your order in. My number is 862-312-2026. Also, get a subscription to the AWC magazine. We got a really cool issue. All of them are great. But we have a really cool issue coming up that I want you to have, because it's going to be limited edition, and it's a takeover magazine. So go to awcmag.com. Get a subscription at $69. It's less than you make in an hour. And you could have it every month to your door with stickers. Yeah, go do that. Also, I think I say this all the time, but there's a jobber link in the comments of wherever you're watching this, or text me, I'll shoot it to you. But that is 20% off for the first 6 months, which, if you don't know, Jobber's fantastic for a CRM. It runs your entire company. And it's actually really affordable compared to like what you'd think for everything it does. Anyway, go do that. Not a plug. Shameless plug went long enough. Anyway, back to it. In the world of construction cleans, you set expectations, right? You watch for issues. What do you got? Silicone on the glass? You got caulk? Mortar is the worst? Or did they cut the tile outside, or the brick or the block, and put metal shavings into the glass? I've had that a bunch of times. It's like, you guys are idiots. But builders, if you've ever built a house, you think, oh man, it'd be so nice to have this perfect. They're so bad. A house can be built in like 3 months. Literally. Friends of ours just built a house. They took a picture standing next to a just dirt lot, like all the whole family, 3 months later, they were moving in. That an entire house. So don't think they're absolutely amazing. So that's the big thing. That's what we're looking for. And the scratches, again, what everybody's worried about is you're mitigating that with the way that you clean. It's not you, it's the guys that maybe have come before you. So what we want to do to mitigate that, or to at least let the GC know, is that if we see scratches, do not clean that glass. Let the contractor know first, right? Hey, just so you know, we found some scratches. We didn't clean the windows so you can inspect them first. If you think they're awesome, we'll go ahead. You can sign this thing. And there's a slip that we made up called an acknowledgement slip. An acknowledgement slip basically was the GC signing the glass, or signing the slip. And we had this always before we got all the way into it if we found scratches. But it was... I'm signing that I am aware that multiple contractors have touched the windows before us, and our if any scratches are to appear, that you are not going to be holding the window cleaning company harmless. Which hold harmless basically is just acknowledgement. And that same thing is that if there is a section, which we always blocked it off, is the acknowledgement that would say, I, the GSC, acknowledge that there are existing scratches and will not hold the line. And that's if we find it. That's what we have them do on the same sheet, just to say whatever. They sign different parts of it, right? When scratches come up, I just want them, I don't want to like get out of it. Like, dude, we are going to do our absolute best. This is what we do every day, all day. We are not going to scratch your glass, but I can't speak for everybody else, right? So that's why we do that. We have that again because this is going to be cringe worthy for a lot of you. But if we do a window and it is scratched, we do not clean it if we can see it first. Sometimes you clean it and you find it and you're like, oh, I just stop everything, even if it's sloppy looking, and I'll bring the people, hey, just, you know, we just cleaned this over. We got some sparkles, some scratches. Before we go and do anything to it, I just want to show you. Right? By the way, the shape of the scratch and stuff is how you can show them it wasn't you if they really want to put it out. Builders get it. They do this. They also understand that you stop instantly when you see that. If you did the whole house and went, oh yeah, there's nothing, and then they find scratches, they're like, oh, this guy's trying to hide it, right? Remember, expectations are everything. So we put that out there, and then I'll walk to the GC. Usually we have him on the cell if he's not on the project or whatever. Be like, hey, we have these scratches. I want you to just take a look at them, and then I have an acknowledgement sheet. We'll keep cleaning everything. Just acknowledge that they're there. Cool. Like, yeah, all right, we see them. I acknowledge that there were scratches there before you, and we're not holding you harmless. Cool. Finish the rest of the job. I will always get a scratched glass waiver done, especially in construction cleans, but that's before. Just saying, if there are fabricating scratches caused by fabricating debris, that is a defect in the glass, and we can't be held responsible, even though blah, 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 blah. But a hold harmless scares contractors when you're like, hey, I'm going to touch this $1 million house, and you can't sue me for anything. A lot of forms are signed in the construction world, so they're not scared of it as much, but they also don't want to be like, this dude's just got a license to destroy my stuff now, right? I only have a hold harmless done after we find stuff, but I have a scratched glass waiver done before. Okay, let's jump into pricing. The part in this is that it will take you twice as long, at least, to do. Because you're hitting every window with a walnut pad, you're hitting every window with a fine-tooth comb, you're hitting every window with a scraper. You're just really, 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 really looking and having a lot more stuff to take off. So if you're going into it and you're like, oh, there's 10 windows, I'll charge, you're wrong. It has to be, in your pricing, at least double what a normal window cleaning would be. Because let's break down numbers. You guys know I'm a number nerd, but let's do it. I'm going to bust out a calculator because I'm terrible at the maths. But here's the thing. If you're doing $100 an hour, per man hour, okay? And your windows, so ins and outs, typically are $10. That means you can do 10 windows in and out, panes, sorry, in and out, in an hour to do your production, okay? If that changes and you're like, okay, I can only do 10 insides, I can do half of that because it's taking me twice as long, right? If you have $10 for an in and out of a pane, you can do 10 panes, ins and outs in an hour, and you're making your money. Now, some of you are going, well, yeah, in a typical window cleaning, I'm way faster than that. Okay, well, look at your dollar amount. How much did you make? Right, like for the day we were averaging like $87, and then you didn't, right? What you need to be is faster than that 10 windows or 10 panes so that you can account for dry time, talk time, breakdown, setup, all that. If you're like, yeah, I do that. If I do 10 panes in an hour, ins and outs, that's what we do. Okay, cool. So that means you're doing 10 minutes per pane. Obviously, you're probably faster, right? There's a lot of allocation in that, but here's the thing. If it takes you twice as long, remember there's drive time, talk time, setup time. All of that has to come into this $100 man hour kind of thing. If it takes you twice as long, the rest of it's still the same, I'm going to charge 2 times the money. And then if it's really bad, I'm going to charge 3 times the money because I know it's going to take me probably longer even than the 2 hours, but now all the liability and the headaches. Like, here's the thing. We have to remember as business owners that if I make $1 from you, it's the same dollar as I make if I get it from Billy over there. But whose job is easier? If I do a job for you and it's, man, cakewalk, casements, boom. And I do a job for Billy and it's construction cleaning, their builders are absolute garbage. Well, I'm still making $1, but I'm going to have to work so much harder, have more stress, pressures, and everything to make that $1. I don't want that. So that's where your 2 times multiplier and your 3 times multiplier come in. If you're on a job site and the job site is not done, meaning that the outside is still like, excavator marks, and I mean, we've been on that before where you're like, really? You want to like be done? I will have, just like everything, 100% satisfaction. The job is completed. Just need you to sign off on the job. With contractors, I do that so much more than I do on anything because I have had it so many times that all of a sudden the contractor calls me 2 weeks after we're there, which we're supposed to be the last thing in there. And they're like, hey, these windows are all messed up on the backside. You mean the side where you just planted grass? Weird, right? I'm not coming back for that. It's like you clean somebody's window and then they call you and they're like, hey, a bird just ran into our window. I know you were just out here 3 weeks ago, but can you come back out and clean that one for free? No. The bird just did it now. I cleaned the windows. The minute I was done cleaning them, they were clean. What happens the minute after I leave, that's something different, right? So the acknowledgments on that is there. That comes into pricing. That comes into when it's done and signed off and finished and all of that. But 2x is the minimum I will charge. And all of the builders we have, we'll do jobs for one company or builder and we'll be like, these are awful. Now I'm going to do site visits. I know. I'm talking about doing phone bids all the time, but for construction companies, I don't for the first one because I need to know what kind of builder they are. Is it 2 or 3x? Or am I even going to just say no? Right? That's first. That's the initial piece. Once all of that is seen, you can just do it after that. You know the kind of builder. Maybe do the first 2 if you really feel comfortable. But I have builders or had builders that I would get 3-4 houses a month because, they're working on 10 houses or whatever. They're working on 10 houses at one time and 3 of them are popping up every single month, especially in new subdivisions. I'm always there. It's great. But that's where it is. That's the liability. That's the pricing. That's the expectations of what you're going to have to do. A normal window cleaning, even really bad ones, if you do a window that has not been cleaned in 20 years, it takes a long time to really get that thing back. But they look amazing. The sense of satisfaction in construction cleans is fantastic. But here's another piece to the puzzle that I want to touch on for just 2 seconds, is that a homeowner will go in to that place when they're all said and done. So what we do with every builder we do is we have a welcome packet that we give them from the window cleaning company that they can leave on the counter for the homeowner. And it says everything. Oh, thank you so much. Your home is beautiful. Congratulations, blah, blah, blah. As a thank you, here's a gift card for a free window cleaning, $100 off, or whatever. Whatever you want to do is fantastic because the builder then looks like a hero because they're like, oh, yeah, we gave him also free window cleaning, afterwards. And you're like, well, why are you doing it free? I'm getting a customer from the beginning, right? When you go buy a new car, maybe you've not built a house, but when you go buy a new car, the cleanest your car will ever be is in the beginning of buying a new car. You're getting the thing washed all the time. It's fine. And then if you've had the car for like 3-4 years, you're like, oh, yeah, I haven't got a car washed in a couple months, right? I want to get into the ground level on this. So that's why I do our gift certificates, our whatevers in the builders, use that as a next kind of pushing point. And then it also allows the homeowner to have a company instantly that came in, they did great, they looked at us fantastic, and then they can go. So use it as an opportunity. Again, making money now is great. Making money in the future is better. Because I could maybe get them in, if they're in on the dentist close, boom, bam, some kind of cool saying, you're in, right? So anyway, that's construction cleans. Construction cleans are scary to some people, and you don't have to do them. Like, I know a lot of people who are like, yeah, I don't do construction cleans. I just don't want the liability or worries or hassles. Cool. Somebody will. It doesn't have to be you, right? So if you are doing them, make sure to do them right. Make sure you're bidding right. Make sure you're just covering all your bases in construction cleans. It's a really big money-making thing, and the amount, I mean, who else is sending you 3 houses a month? Nobody. Builders will. A realtor will tell you that they will. Oh, do my house for free and I'll send you all my... You'll never hear from them again. Like, realtors are the worst when it comes to sending you work or saying they're going to send you work. By the way, if you're here and you are thinking about replying to anything, please do. On Spotify, I love comments. It pushes the stuff and it makes people find it just awesome. Anyway, comment if you like realtors or you don't like realtors. Tell me why. I want to know those comments. Please put them in there. Also, I'm a rep for windowcleaner.com. Yeah. Shameless plug number 2. Hopefully it works on you. Hopefully you let me put your orders in. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Water fed down to traditional stuff. If you're over $49, it ships free, but I do a lot of orders that are even under that. All orders are awesome. And listen, it does not, people are always like, well, I don't want to bug you. What? That's how I make my money. This is how I live. It does not bug me to put orders in, especially those of you who have had me put all of your orders in for years. It's so amazing. You're not bugging me. This is what I do and how I live and how I can exist on this wonderful planet. So, yeah, do that. And by the way, if you're watching, I'm actually wearing an Under Armour shirt instead of one of the free shirts, so things are good. So dumb. Anyway, also get a subscription, awcmag.com. Get the magazine because you're a window cleaner and you're a dork like me. You want to have all of the knowledge on the planet. So do that. Awesome articles, great stickers, awcmag.com. Get that year subscription. And of course, Jobber. Get them. They're awesome. Phenomenal. And if it's time and you're like cash rich right now, things are going good, start it. Start a CRM because you will never look back. You'll get 1,000 things more done than you were before, easier, automated, and moving forward, your business is just always going to be in there. You'll never, ever, ever look back. So go do that. Anyway, thank you. If you're doing construction cleans, do them. Make sure to comment, all that stuff. Like, follow, subscribe, and more importantly, until next week, do some construction cleans if you want. But more importantly, go out there and be awesome. No, go out there and be epic.